Hello and welcome to SE Electronics. This year we're celebrating our 10th anniversary and we're opening our factory doors to show you a little bit about our production techniques, the research and development, and some of the new products that we're bringing to the market this year. We have a design team of 12 permanent engineers at SE Electronics working under the guidance of Mr. Zhu. We also work in conjunction with the Tongji University, which is one of the top engineering universities in the world. And between our own designers, Mr. Zhu and Tongji University, we work together on developing new products and improving the products that we already have. In addition to this, we're also working with Mr. Rupert Neve and also Andy Munro. We've been developing microphones now with Mr. Rupert Neve for nearly the last 4 years, the first one of which, the R&R1 ribbon mic, came to market about a year ago now and has been critically acclaimed as one of the best ribbon mics the world has ever seen. Mr. Neve has also played a key part in helping us to develop and improve the current product range as well. All of the techniques that we've learned in developing the very high-end products that we are putting to market with Mr. Neve have been applied to the lower end of the SE range, and so you're now seeing massive improvements in things like the circuit boards, the power supplies, the transformers, everything that goes through the SE range that can be considered electronics. Mr. Neve has had some part to play in improving over the last few years. One of the key philosophies of SE Electronics is the quality of build of the products. We never compromise on any of the components that we use. We also build everything from scratch in our factory. We're a one-stop shop, and that's very unusual, if not completely unique in the world of microphones today. Everything that you see in the factory is built by SE, and we don't build products for anybody else. From shock mounts to cables and flight cases, we build everything in-house from scratch. Capsules, chassis of microphones, and also it's the quality of the components that we use. All of our microphones are built using solid brass chassis, something you would expect of a $2,000 or $3,000 microphone, but not from the mass producers that are making microphones which cost $300 or $400. At SE, we also hand build all of our circuit boards. Only in the very base models, the SE1, the X1 and the 2200A, are they printed circuit boards. For the power supplies and all of the other models in the range, the circuit boards are handcrafted using high-quality Panasonic components. Every single SE Electronics mic has a capsule which is hand-built in-house, from the least expensive mic in the range, the SE1A, right up to the Rupert Neve ribbon, the R&R1. All capsules are handmade, all are built in-house, no automated machinery. There are many areas in which it would be possible for us to make great savings in producing a microphone which people would most probably never even see. For example, the XLR connectors in the microphones that we build are all handmade in solid brass, like everything else in the microphone. It's important for us to keep this attention to detail right through the whole range, because we're not trying to be another also-me mass-producing mic company. The kind of people that we aspire to and respect in the mic world out there are people like Browner and Neumann, who are at the top of the industry in the microphones that they build. And what we're trying to do is bring a very simple message to market. That is, it is possible to build products of that kind of quality, but bring them to people at a price that they can actually afford. So one of the promises we make as a company and to ourselves is that we'll never cut corners on products. We'll always build them to the best possible standards using the best materials. And that gives the customer something which they can be proud of and use for many years to come. Another key difference between SE Electronics and the mass automated producers out there in the market is that we handcraft every single piece of the product. The chassis, the capsules, every piece of them, even the XLR connectors, are built in-house and by hand. One of the key advantages of doing this is that somebody has their hands on every piece of the microphone throughout the whole build process, and that means that the components are constantly being quality checked as the mic is being built, rather than just batch checked at the end of a build process. This is really important, but in addition to that, something else which you'd only expect from a very high-end company is that we take all of the components and re-quality control them before they're assembled. So every single component not only gets checked as it's being built, but somebody hand inspects those components before they're assembled into a final microphone. Amongst many of the innovations that SE Electronics has come up with under the guidance of Zhu is the reflection filter, one of the fastest selling pro audio products of all time. In the last 3 years alone, we've sold over 100,000 units worldwide. And it's the innovation of this product which makes it important. The idea is a simple one, an acoustic panel which you put behind a microphone to act as a kind of portable vocal booth, something which will restrain the frequencies reverberating around the room and give you a better, drier take on a vocal or a guitar. It's the design of the reflection filter that's really important. It's a very simple idea, but to make it perform effectively and efficiently in such a small space is very difficult. It's one of the most successful products, as I said, over the last 3 years in the audio industry, and so there have been a lot of competitors coming onto the market with cheap imitations of this product. Unfortunately, most of them are based around a simple metal frame with just a foam insert, and this can actually be more harmful to the recording than it can beneficial. Foam tends not to work in terms of frequency damping on anything less than about 2 to 3 kilohertz. Anything lower than that, and there's virtually no effect at all. So all that happens when you put a piece of foam on the inside of a metal shield and put it behind a microphone is it rolls off the high frequencies, but it doesn't do anything to treat where the major problems are between 500 hertz and 2K in a room. So if you're in a project studio and you use one of these cheaper imitation reflection filter type products, then you end up having to increase the treble frequencies back in the mix, which adds noise, and yet you're not treating any of the real problem area. Both of our reflection filter products work full frequency response. And although not as effective as a full room treatment, they're certainly by far the most effective portable treatment on the market today. The efficiency of both the Pro reflection filter and the Project Studio reflection filter, or Baby reflection filter, is based on the complexity of the design. Neither of them are just simple metal shields with foam inserts. They both have multiple layers which act to break up the frequencies and therefore absorb and diffuse those energies more efficiently. So you can see that within the shield we have a layer of loose aluminium foil which effectively breaks up lower frequencies than would be without it. And we also line even the Project Studio reflection filter with a very high density polyester fiberboard which is far more efficient than simple foam at absorbing frequencies. This stops a lot of the lower frequencies from penetrating the shield and reverberating around the room. The patent that we applied for in the development of the reflection filter 3 years ago means that although there are a number of copies out there on the market, none of them use this multiple layer technology that we have. Professional engineers will get around the problem of the lack of high frequency on a ribbon mic by adding to it, while recording, a condenser microphone. The problem with this for most people is that it's very difficult to cross-match those microphones without getting phase cancellation problems. So we've been concentrating our efforts on bringing customers out-of-the-box products that work without any additional filtering or EQing. The first of those products was the Rupert Neve R&R1, which is a ribbon mic which gives you full frequency response from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. And it does this by using a very clever circuit board designed by Mr. Neve, a very expensive hand-wound transformer, a very good capsule, one of our best ribbon capsules, in fact the best, all packaged together and brought together with our engineers to bring you what is a very high-end and very big-sounding microphone. But not everybody can afford the $2,000 to $3,000 price point that a mic like this costs. So we've recently been concentrating our efforts on finding another solution for the MI market. Mr. Zhu has come up with a very clever patent, which is a mechanical patent, a device which diffuses the sound as it enters the microphone and spreads the frequencies across the capsule, so that this mic is something that works full frequency response from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. We call this mic the VR1, and it's something you'll be seeing in the streets very soon. We're continuing as a company to try and develop and continue to be at the cutting edge of microphone technology. And as such, Mr. Zhu is working currently on projects with 5.1 recording technology and also trying to combine a ribbon and condenser capsule in one microphone with pre-matched and phase-correlated EQs. There are a number of microphones on the drawing board that we can't tell you about yet, but we're going to stay at the cutting edge of this technology and continue to lead the market. We're also designing currently the world's first large transformer balanced pencil microphone. This is a 17mm diaphragm cardioid condenser, the smallest ever gold-sputted true cardioid condenser in the world, combined with the same transformer element as is found in the 5088 console and the R&R1 in a pencil mic format. We also have plans to do a very high-end tube mic, also a very high-end FET condenser, multi-voltage, and we're also planning to bring out 3 mid-price Rupert Neve SE microphones, a tube, a ribbon and a FET condenser. Another exciting development from us is the recent signing of an agreement with Mr. Andy Munro. He's one of the top studio designers in the world and was also responsible for developing most of the Dyne Audio range of speakers over the last 12 years, as well as working for Shure before that, also developing speaker technology. Mr. Munro has now signed an agreement to develop high-quality studio monitors to compete with the big brands that are out there. But in the same philosophy as the SE microphones, we're intending to build to compete with the best, but sell at mid-range prices. We're also going to be working alongside Mr. Munro and Mr. Zhu with Rupert Neve to develop these monitors. So Mr. Munro's input will be in the overseeing and the development of the speaker system itself, the cones, the tweeters. Mr. Neve is going to be working on the power amplification and the crossover, so he's going to be bringing all of the benefits that he had in his original days of designing hi-fi amplification equipment and being one of the best electronics designers in the world to the table. And Mr. Zhu is going to be concentrating on the production element of the project and overseeing that side of it as well. So we have three of the hottest designers in the music industry at the moment working all together on a key project to provide studio monitors for a market, which are going to be some of the best monitors available, but at affordable prices for the first time.